Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How's it going today? Hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to do a little bit of sort of like an offbeat kind of video here. We're going to focus on something called the 55T rule, or the 55-year rule. Most people sort of recognize it as. And this has to do with your 401k. There's a lot of little sort of things that people get wrong here. I want to focus on two things today. I'll give you a tip and I'll give you a trick if you happen to fall into this category. Now, the 55T rule is very simple. It just means if you quit, fire, or retired from your job, corporate America we're talking about here, not government jobs or firefighters, things like that. We're just talking about corporate America today. If you quit or get fired or retire from your job, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, right? You could still take your money out of your 401k, live off of it without paying the penalty. Typically, the rule is when you get to 59 and a half, then you can start pulling money out penalty free. Well, there's a little rule in there with the IRS that says, you know, hey, things happen. Sometimes you're 56 years old, the company lays you off, the economy gets really bad. Well, if you want to retire anyways, you can. Well, what happens when the economy is doing really well, people decide, you know what, I think I want to retire early. And so they start looking into this here. I get a lot of questions on this, but I want to alert you to a couple things. First of all, Rule 55T, it's the year that you turn 55. So you could be 54, maybe in December, you turn 55. It's actually at any point from January of the year that you're going to turn 55 all the way to 59 and a half or anything beyond that, really. So 55T, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be 55. It's the year in which you turn 55 that you can actually quit your job, retire, or if you get fired, you can take the money out of your 401k. Here's the thing. I get this one a lot. Dustin, I got a 401k. I'm, say, 50 years old right now. I just quit my job. I've got a 401k. Let's say it's got $500,000 in it. And they go, okay, here's the thing, Dustin. I'm not going to go back to work. I'm going to hold that 401k until I turn 55, and then I'm going to start taking the money out. Can't do that because you quit your job at the age of 50. You are not actually able to hold the 401k and then at 55 go to the IRS and say, I'd like to start taking money out. They're going to say, no, you're not 59 and a half. You now have to pay a penalty. Now, here's the thing. The tip of the day is make sure you don't just leave a 401k sitting somewhere until you turn 55, 56, whatever, and then think you're going to take the money out. You can't do it. You actually have to be at the job, then quit, get fired, or retire, whatever you decide to do in that window, okay? Very, very important. So you could roll this over to an IRA. You could, do whatever you want with it, but if you happen to roll it over, maybe you convert some of it to a Roth. Who knows what you might do there. Now, the trick is, let's say you're 53 years old. This one happens a lot. I get people that say, I just don't know if I can physically keep up with my job. I'm just not feeling it, man. My body's breaking down. Maybe you do some sort of physical labor, and you go, I don't think I'm going to make it. Well, theoretically, what you could do is you could say, all right, I quit. I'm 53 years old. I quit. I can't take it anymore. Take your 401k and roll it over to some easier job, whatever it may be. Let's say it's a desk job, you're answering phones or something like that. Better on the body. You're feeling good about it. You stay here until you're 55 and roll this money into this 401k at this job, and then when you turn 55, you could quit from there, and you still would qualify for the 55T rule. But if you left the old 401k over here, this one you couldn't touch. So a lot of people will go get, maybe it's usually because of health insurance or whatever, they'll go get another job, but you can roll that 401k into the new 401k and the entire amount starts to count, right? So something to take a look at there. Came up the other day. A customer said, or former customer actually, I worked with this guy many times. He said, I'm leaving my job, right? I'm 50 years old. I have to go get some licenses, personal reasons. He may come back to the job. He may not. In that case, what happens? He wants to retire at 55. If he comes back to the same job and they'll accept him back because of whatever reason he's able to come back to his job, the clock doesn't change for whatever reason. He's still going to be 55 in a year, whatever year it is. He can take the money out at that point. So just careful on that one because, like I said, this happens. People go you know, times are good, I've got a lot of money, the markets have grown, and they start thinking, hey, I'm gonna take some money out, maybe retire early, make sure you follow the rules, be very specific, because the IRS is going to be very specific, so you want to make sure you are as well. Well, I hope that helps you. Very general, there's no like magic science to it, just bringing up some of the things that happen to me here when I take phone calls from you guys. You're welcome to schedule a phone call on our website. Just go up to the jazzwealth.com, click chat with Jazz. I'll more than likely be the one to give you a call. We'll work through whatever we can for you. And if that's not interesting to you, maybe you want to see a stock market update. We do it every day at 5 o'clock. And so we'll be back a little bit later to do that with you. Cover the good, the bad, and the ugly of the stock market. I appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of your day.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.